everybody, welcome back to Real Good Pilates. Today I've got for you a quick feel-good post-run stretch. So the perfect way to lengthen out your tired and worked muscles after a really good run. All right, so you're gonna start with your feet staggered. So have one leg forward, one leg back, about hip width apart with your front knee bent and your back heel down onto the mat. And then all I want you to do is just kind of pick up that back heel and then place it back down on the floor. Pick it up and put it down. So just kind of working through that ankle and seeing if you can gently start to open up that back calf a little bit. Yes, which calves tend to be definitely tired after our runs, so kind of giving it a nice gentle opening. And then let's keep the heel down onto the floor and then try to bend that back knee and then press it back to straight. Yes, bend and then stretch. And you might not be able to bend the knee all that much. It's just going to depend on how tight those calves are and what kind of mobility that ankle's got going on. So just as much as you can comfortably bend it, this gets a little bit deeper into the muscles of the calf. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do that on the opposite leg. So stagger the new foot front, other foot is back, and then we'll start just picking up and putting down the back heel. And really think of driving your hips forward, and you should feel a nice opening through the hip flexor as well. Good, think of squeezing the glutes to press the pelvis gently forward. All right, now leave the heel onto the floor and you're gonna bend that back knee and then stretch it. Bend it and then stretch it. Good, so again, just kind of keeping it nice and easy. We're not trying to force it, just finding some movement through these tight tissues. Very good. All right, now come back up to standing. Have your feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart. The toes can be slightly angled out. And then just nod your chin, and we're gonna take a roll down over our legs. So articulating the spine, getting some length through the hamstrings. Inhale as you get to the bottom. And then as you exhale, just reverse that motion, tucking the tail under, roll back up till the head arrives up. And then we'll do that again. Exhale as we nod the chin and roll through. Inhale to stay at the bottom. Try to deepen that stretch. Exhale as you tuck the tail under to roll back up. And then inhale as you come fully upright. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Seeing if with each repetition you can get even closer to the floor or to your legs. Really let gravity pull you down. And then curl through your spine to come up. All right, after this next one, we're gonna stay down at the bottom. So roll through, stay in your forward fold here. Now grab onto your ankles, your shins, whatever you can comfortably grab, and come into a nice deep kind of sumo squat. So you're gonna bend at the knees, come down as low as you comfortably can, and then reach the hips back up to the ceiling. Yes, so as down, as close to the floor as you comfortably can, and then back up tall. Yes, if this is too intense, keep the bend of the knees a little bit smaller. If you need to adjust the width of the feet or the angle to which they're turned out, kind of adjust that until you feel like you have a good range through your hips. Good, you guys. 2 more times. Drop, really feel that kind of opening at the back of the glutes, the hamstrings. Feel like your sitting bones are kind of widening apart at the bottom. Good. Now this next one, you're going to stay down at the bottom and hold and just kind of twist from side to side. Yeah, so you kind of rock from one foot to the other, kind of twisting as you go. So as I rock over my left foot, I'm kind of turning my body to the right. As I rock to the right, I'm turning my body to the left. And again, you might need to be up higher with your hips and maybe even with your hands on the floor, just depending on where you're at today. Good, so you should get a really nice ankle stretch as you put your weight over that single foot. Good, you guys. All right, this one can be tricky, so let's see how we feel. You're going to take one hand, reach across, and try to grab your opposite ankle. If you can't grab that, maybe grab for the knee. And then you're going to use that grip to twist your spine, open up your free arm, and try to look up towards the ceiling. And then just breathe here. Try to breathe into the sides of your ribs. And then let go and try to do that on the other side. So grab what you can. If grabbing doesn't feel good, you can place the hand on the floor instead and try to open up. Very good. So this hits a lot of tight spots. Big breath in and out. Good. Let's try this one more time to either side, modifying to make it doable for you. The hips might need to be higher with the hand on the floor. Good. Nice stretch for that upper back as well. Last time. Grab and twist. Very good, you guys. All right, let's give our quads and our hip flexors a little stretch now. So come all the way down to your knees. You're going to step 1 foot forward, so you're staggered. Place your hands on that front thigh or onto your hips. You're going to think of tucking your tailbone under, almost like you're imprinting your spine, and then you're going to drive your hip bones forward, leaning the weight into the front foot, and then just rock back up. And we do that again. Squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward, and then up. Good, you guys. Yeah, these hip flexors can definitely take a beating with all that repetitive movement and flexion of the hips. So really giving them some attention. If it's too intense, back off. Yes, we want to kind of start by just easing in and out of the stretch to kind of adapt that hip flexor to being long again. And then once it kind of feels ready, we'll hold the stretch. So press forward and stay. Kind of push your knee forward with your hands. If you can handle more stretch, place your hands down on the floor. Yeah, I like to go on the inside of my foot. If you can handle even more stretch, you're welcome to come down to your forearms instead. Just pick what feels right to you. Good. Wherever you're at, you can kind of rock your hips from side to side and kind of roll to the outside edge of the foot and back. That'll give your outer thigh, your piriformis, those hip rotator muscles a little bit of extra stretch as well. So kind of move my hand so you can see. So kind of I show my sole of the foot over to where the camera is. I roll towards my pinky toe and then come back. Very good, you guys. Okay, once you feel like you've kind of opened up that hip enough, you can crawl back up till you're kneeling with your hand on your thigh. Very good. Now you're going to shift your weight back, place your hands on the floor, lift your toes up off the ground, and then try to sit your hips back onto your heel here. And then just hold a nice little hamstring stretch. Try to nod your chin, let the weight of your head pull your torso down, and then just try to breathe through the stretch. Send oxygen to those tight muscles. You can kind of wave your front foot back and forth to encourage that hamstring to open up a little bit more. Very good. All right, let's try that with our other leg front. So step the new leg out. Hands on the thigh or on your hips, tuck your tail under, and then start rocking in and out of your thigh stretch. Good. Try to keep your spine up tall for these first few. That's going to give us the best length through that quad and hip flexor. Very good. All right, now hold the stretch. You can kind of press that thigh forward with your hands. Now let's hold. You're welcome to keep here with your upper body, or you can start to work your way closer to the mat, either coming down to your hands for one option, or coming down to your forearms as another. Good, and then you can gently just rock the hips from side to side to encourage a little bit more opening. So good. Good, letting that foot and ankle Kind of rock side to side also can feel good to open up that hip even more, get some external rotation. You can even kind of push gently with your hand to open that up a little bit more. All right, crawl your hands back up towards your thigh. Whew. Okay, and then we're going to lean back and stretch the hamstring of this front leg. So lean away, lift the toes up, and then sit as close to that back heel as you're comfortable with. You're welcome to stay up higher instead of sitting back to the foot. Yeah, that's a lot of flexion for that bottom knee. So you pick which feels best to you, and then settle in, letting your torso pull you forward. Good. Maybe waving your toes back and forth a little bit. Good. The longer you stay here, try to release any extra tension, especially in the shoulders that are kind of holding you up here. Very good. All right, bring yourself back up. Okay, let's come on to all fours now. So get your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Kick one leg out to the side, toes pointing forward, and try to get the whole sole of the foot down, even your pinky toe. And then we're just gonna sit our hips back towards our heel, rotate this long leg so the toes end up pointing towards the ceiling. Exhale, and then as you inhale, you're just going to return back, placing the toes on the mat. And then we'll do that again. Exhale, sitting the hips back, externally rotating so the toes point to the sky, and then we return to the start. Good. So we're getting some opening for our adductors, so those inner thigh muscles, and then the hamstrings. And up. Good, let's do that 2 more times. And again, just like before, if it's not comfortable to place your hip all the way on your heel, you stop when you need to at more of a hover. So good. All right, let's do that on the other side. So kicking the new leg out, toes front, sole of the foot down. Really think of sticking your tailbone out behind you and then sit away and rotate the hip open. And then return. Good. So try to have no tucking of the tail with this one. Almost feel like somebody's grabbing your belt loop and pulling you back. And then return. Good, you guys. 2 more. Externally rotate. Open up that hamstring. So good. Last one. Okay, last but not least, we're going to go into a pigeon stretch. So from that same all fours position, reach one leg back behind you, place the ball of the foot on the floor, and then you're going to swing your front foot across to the opposite side, and then just start to sink your hips back, letting your long legs slide away from you until you get to the deepest stretch that you can handle. And then you're welcome to stay up on your hands. You can come down to your elbows or even try to place your head onto the mat here. You can stay with your back toes tucked under, or you can rest your knee down, set the top of the foot down, whatever feels best to you. And then again, you can kind of rock your pelvis from side to side, and it'll change up where you feel the stretch in the hips. So good. All right, now to finish, leave your legs in this pigeon position, but crawl back up to your hands, push into the floor, and lift your chest up towards the ceiling. I like to try to straighten my back knee as much as I can, so I get a nice hip flexor, ab, and spine stretch. Very good. All right, place the hands back down, bring the knees back under you to your all fours, and we'll do that on the other side. So new leg slides back, front foot swings across, and then just gently sink the hips back into the stretch. Very good. You're welcome to put a pillow or a cushion underneath your hips to kind of keep you more elevated if this is too intense. Feel free to crawl lower towards the mat, maybe even try to rest your head closer to the floor. And then find some gentle rocks from side to side. Yes, you might feel more stretch on the outside of the hip and then the inside as you move around. Good. All right. Okay, now keep your legs in that position. Climb back up to your hands. Try to straighten your back knee as best you can. Lift your chest up. Draw the abs up and in and feel that whole front chain of the body stretch open. Good. One more big breath here. All right, and with that, we are all done with our post-run stretch. I hope you loved it, and I hope you're feeling even better than before we started. So I can't wait to see you back here on the mat with me very soon, and happy running. Bye. You did it. Way to go on completing today's workout. I hope you feel amazing. If you want to see even more from Real Good Pilates, click the link down below or right up here to head to my website and claim your 7-day free trial for the Real Good Pilates on-demand subscription platform, where you'll find even more fun and challenging ways to work out with me that are all completely ad-free. Plus tons of subscription exclusive workouts that you won't find anywhere else. So I hope you'll try it out, and I can't wait for you to join me for even more Real Good Pilates. I'll see you over there. Bye.